Chosen one, God is financing your future. What you need to know. Let this message find you with your spirit wide open and your faith standing tall. You have been walking a unique path, one that often made little sense to others. But it was never meant to. What has felt like delay, like denial, like wandering through uncertainty, was actually divine positioning. God has been preparing you for something extraordinary. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are certainly not underfunded. In fact, God is financing your future, and today, you're about to understand exactly what that means for your life. Watch this video until the very end. Something powerful is waiting to be unlocked in you. And write your warmest wish in the comments and type 777. Because this is the hour where wishes are coming true, where the universe responds to your divine alignment with clarity and power. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. You've been wondering how it will all come together. You've been asking how you'll get from where you are to where your vision says you're going. The truth is, the blueprint of your destiny was written by a divine hand that never runs out of provision. God is not just blessing you emotionally or spiritually, He is funding your mission with resources that surpass logic. You are stepping into a realm where the supernatural supply chain of heaven opens up over your life. You are entering a space where provision meets purpose, and your purpose is no longer postponed. It's being propelled. What you've experienced until now has been a pruning, not punishment. It's been a setup, not a setback. Your patience has created room for divine power to move in a way no human hand could orchestrate. Some doors had to close, not because you were disqualified, but because they were too small for the size of your calling. You were not created to merely survive this world. You were designed to thrive under divine flow. And now, that flow is being activated. The resources you thought you needed to chase are actually being assigned to chase you. Chosen one, when God finances your future, He doesn't consult your current bank balance. He consults your destiny. He knows the mission, the message, the mandate placed inside you. He is not investing in your struggle. He is investing in your outcome. This is why things have shifted recently. This is why you've felt certain alignments breaking and new ideas stirring in your soul. God has authorized something in the spirit that is now beginning to manifest in the natural. You may not have seen it with your physical eyes, but in the spirit realm, contracts are being signed on your behalf. Favor is being released behind the scenes. What you need will come, on time, in full, with overflow. This is not wishful thinking. This is the strategy of heaven. When God is financing your future, He removes the limits of man. No more stress about how it's going to happen. The how is God's domain. Your job is to walk in the yes of your spirit, to say yes to His promptings, to say yes to His pace, and to say yes to the pull that's calling you forward. It might look like you're surrounded by impossibilities, but remember, a miracle never needs approval from logic. Your life is becoming proof that obedience brings overflow, that surrender births strategy, that faith releases funding. And right now, the divine vault is unlocking, not because you begged for it, but because you're aligned for it. There are ideas in you that heaven intends to fund. There are visions in you that were not random. They were divine previews. And now, the time has come for these divine previews to meet their provision. You've waited long enough. You've questioned deeply. But through it all, you've remained. And that is exactly why your reward is being released. God is financing your future because your future carries His imprint. There are people waiting for what only you can release. There are breakthroughs tied to your voice, your work, your calling. And now, the resources are being sent to remove the delay and usher in divine movement. Don't worry if it doesn't all make sense. Divine moves rarely do. Just trust that the shift you feel is real. You may wake up and not see the physical evidence yet, but something in your spirit already knows it has begun. Don't second-guess the downloads you're receiving. Don't dismiss the clarity that's quietly rising within you. Divine financing is not about seeing first. It's about moving in faith and watching heaven fund the steps. You are not waiting on the world to catch up. You're walking in sync with what God already decided. Chosen one, your life is under new management now. Fear is no longer the financial advisor. Doubt no longer gets to speak over your ideas. Scarcity has been evicted. Lack has lost legal access. You are financed by faith, covered by grace, and moving under a supernatural flow that breaks chains and opens channels. Resources will come, not from the usual suspects, but from the hand of the divine. People will come into your life, not by coincidence, but by divine instruction, carrying what belongs to you. And when they arrive, it will feel familiar, because your spirit already saw it coming. You are not chasing wealth, you are attracting it. You are not hoping for provision, you are aligned with it. The energy around you is shifting, and this shift has been building for a long time. The universe is obeying the frequency of your faith, and that frequency is no longer begging, it's commanding. You have spoken life, you have planted good seed. Now watch the harvest come, financed by the one who never runs dry. And yes, it may still feel like silence around you. Don't mistake silence for stagnation. Sometimes, God does His best work in the quiet. He allows the noise to settle so you can hear the whispers of instruction. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. And preparation always precedes provision. The very thing that tried to break you was the thing that positioned you to receive with clean hands and a clear heart. Even now, as you read this, new doors are unlocking. The old ways are collapsing. You are stepping into divine delivery, on time, above expectation, and under grace. There's a sound in heaven, and it carries your name. There's a release in the atmosphere, and it's responding to your obedience. Every delay was divine. Every detour was divine. And now, every provision is divine. You're not just walking into favor, you're walking into funded favor. Not borrowed, not delayed, not conditional, but full, undeniable, and permanent. You will not have to manipulate your way into rooms. God is placing you in them. You won't have to hustle to get a seat at the table. He's building one with your name on it. And when you arrive, you will know everything that happened before this moment was worth it. This is only the beginning of your funded future. Get ready. There's more. You've spent years believing with little proof, standing strong with no crowd cheering you on. That wasn't a waste. That was training. What you've been through was never just about getting through the moment. It was about being built for the weight of what's coming. God never rushes foundation work because the height of your calling depends on how deep you've been rooted. And you, chosen one, are being rooted in something much bigger than you imagined. The kind of abundance you're about to walk into needs someone who's been tested, someone who won't be shaken by sudden elevation. You are that person. When God finances your future, He removes the need for compromise. That means you won't have to bend your values just to get in the room. You won't have to tolerate mistreatment to get access. You won't have to sell out your peace for promotion. You're being equipped to walk into spaces as your full, authentic self, anointed, called, and supported from above. The funding for your next chapter isn't coming with strings attached. It's coming from the source that never runs out, and it's assigned to your soul, not just your goals. Many around you won't understand this shift. They'll think you got lucky. They'll try to label your rise as coincidence or timing. But deep down, you'll know it was consecration. You'll know it was obedience. You'll know it was all those nights you could have given up, but didn't. You'll know it was those days you kept sowing into your future, with no applause. And now, the reward is arriving. Not just for your survival, but for your faithfulness. Not just for the effort, but for the endurance. Understand this. Divine funding is not limited to currency. It comes in connections. It comes in opportunities. It comes in sudden favor. And yes, it comes in financial provision too, but in ways so tailored, so timely, that you'll know it wasn't man, it was God. You're not just stepping into increase, you're stepping into intelligent increase. Provision that knows what you need before you say it. Favor that solves problems before they show up. This is divine intelligence at work. You're not going to need every door, just the right one. You're not going to need everyone to support you, just the ones God assigns to your journey. That's why you've seen certain people leave. That's why old strategies started to dry up. They were never designed to finance the next chapter. You outgrew what was familiar, because the unfamiliar is what your calling now requires. And it's okay. You're not failing. You're being upgraded. Chosen one, hear this loud and clear. Your faith has created a magnetic field around your life. It's pulling in provision from the north, south, east, and west. Not by force, but by frequency. Not by pressure, but by presence. You've tapped into something powerful. And now, the outer world must rearrange itself to match your inner alignment. What you believe is what you begin to see. What you expect is what you begin to attract. You're not begging for blessings anymore. You're positioned to receive them. You've passed tests that others never even saw. And while no one clapped for you during those tests, heaven did. Heaven recorded every step you took in faith. Heaven witnessed every moment you stayed committed when everything told you to quit. And now, heaven is releasing the resources that match the level of your obedience. This is what divine backing looks like. It may not come through the usual channels, but it will come through the right ones. There are funds already marked with your name in places you haven't yet stepped into. There are platforms being prepared for your voice. There are business ideas about to catch fire, not because of marketing, but because of the oil on your life. This is a supernatural setup. The stage is being set. And God is not only writing the script, He's funding the entire production. All you have to do is keep showing up, fully you, fully present, fully believing. You don't need to manipulate timing. Divine timing is undefeated. It doesn't rush, and it doesn't delay. It shows up when the soul is ready to hold what's coming. And you, chosen one, are finally ready. You're not the same person who started the journey. You've been refined, purified, expanded, and this new version of you is the one equipped to walk into abundance with integrity, with peace, with power. Let this be your confirmation. The funds are coming. The clarity is coming. The breakthrough is coming. Not in pieces, but in waves. This is going to feel like momentum you didn't plan for, blessings you didn't chase, alignments you couldn't have organized. You'll look around and realize, God financed this, God built this, God aligned this. All you had to do was remain faithful, and you did. Keep your head lifted. Don't panic over how. Just prepare for when. Because the when is closer than you think. Provision is not being delayed, it's being detailed. And when it shows up, it won't just meet your need. It will fund your dream. It will carry the signature of heaven. You'll recognize it immediately, not by its appearance, but by the peace that comes with it. And that peace will be your confirmation. This is God's hand at work. You're being shifted from just enough to more than enough. You're being called out of striving and into supported strategy. You won't have to burn out to break through. You'll build with balance. You'll rise with rest. You'll expand with excellence. Because when God is financing your future, stress doesn't write the checks. Favor does. Grace does. Alignment does. This is not about materialism. This is about mission. It's about positioning yourself to be a channel, not just a container. What you're receiving is not just for you, it's for the lives you'll impact. The future that's being financed is one where you uplift others, open doors, and release light into places that forgot what hope looked like. You are a vessel, and God is filling you to overflow. Don't underestimate what's about to happen next. Don't shrink yourself because you feel unqualified. God qualifies who He chooses, and He funds what He ordains. You are not asking for too much. You are being called to rise into everything you were made for. Stay in expectancy. Stay in alignment. Stay in truth. Because your life is not being funded randomly. It's being funded with purpose, precision, and power. And every time doubt tries to whisper, remember this: your destiny was never your idea. It was God's. And what God authors, He always finances. Chosen one, there's something sacred happening beneath the surface right now. Though your eyes may not yet see the shift, your spirit is picking up on it. The atmosphere around you is charged. The unseen realm is moving. What once felt stuck is starting to stir. This is not just a new chapter. It's a new financial ecosystem being built around your calling. The spiritual foundation has been laid, and now heaven is investing in the vision with power, provision, and precision. You're not entering a season, you're entering a structure designed to carry the weight of the wealth coming toward you. This isn't a quick financial fix. This is a generational strategy. God is financing your future in such a way that it doesn't just bless your life. It rewrites the narrative of your bloodline. It establishes new patterns. It breaks ancient cycles. You are the starting point for something holy, something abundant, something lasting. There's a reason certain resources were withheld from you in earlier seasons. You weren't being denied. You were being trained. Had the provision come too soon, it might have overwhelmed you. It might have been attached to environments that would have crushed your spirit. But now, you are no longer the version of yourself who feared success or sabotaged blessing. You are rooted, refined, and ready. That readiness is the trigger that has unlocked heaven's flow. God doesn't fund confusion. He funds clarity. And you've reached a place within yourself where you've finally become clear about who you are, about what you carry, about what you're here to do. And because of that clarity, things are starting to move. You're seeing strange confirmations. You're meeting unexpected helpers. You're receiving ideas you couldn't have imagined months ago. These are not accidents. They are answers. Answers to prayers you didn't know you prayed aloud, but heaven heard the intention behind your endurance. There are movements happening in your favor that don't need your effort to begin, only your agreement. God is not asking you to chase. He's asking you to align. Your new role is to respond, not resist, to trust what feels unfamiliar, because your future has never been lived before. This is not a rerun. This is a premiere. And your soul was designed to handle the light, the responsibility, and the flow that is coming. When God is financing your future, He multiplies more than money. He multiplies your moments. That means time works differently for you now. What would have taken others years will come to you swiftly. Doors will swing open where others have knocked endlessly. What you struggled for will show up with ease. Not because you're better, but because you're chosen. And the chosen don't operate by man's rules. They live by divine rhythm. There will be days ahead when you'll ask, how did all this happen so fast? And the answer will be this: faith paved the road before you got there. Your unseen obedience was creating visible momentum. Every yes you whispered in secret built a bridge toward the life you're now seeing manifest. You weren't being ignored. You were being incubated. And now, you're being launched. Chosen one, this provision is not a coincidence. It's confirmation. Confirmation that the calling on your life is real. Confirmation that your vision is not a fantasy. It's a funded assignment. And heaven never underwrites what it hasn't approved. The fact that resources are starting to find you means you've been marked. You've been selected. And now, the backing of the divine is behind every step you take forward. You'll notice the shift in the way people respond to you. Where once you were hidden, now you are noticed. Where once you were misunderstood, now you are respected. Not because you've changed your essence, but because the energy of divine alignment cannot be ignored. You're carrying something weighty, something undeniable. And what you carry has a value system heaven is now revealing to the world. You're going to speak differently. You'll make decisions with more authority. You'll set boundaries with boldness, not from ego, but from knowing. From knowing that the future you're building is not random, it's sacred.